You see?
What's good, fam? Sorry, there's no intro. We aren't going to spare any 5 seconds for the intro. We have 14 minutes to get this conversation going, and it's going to be on rape, mental health, and the conversation between the sexes. I hope you're cool with it, because today I have two of my very close friends from university joining us. We have one, Panda Bear, aka Juanita.
Hi guys, it's your girl, staying true to everything in society, and you know.
Second, we have Innocent, who is doing Pures at Mulungushi University with the rest of us, apparently. The only difference is he's doing sciences, we're doing social sciences. But we hope we can get this rolling. This is Yo,
what's up, guys?
Okay, so today's topic is a little bit heated because, again, African countries don't really like to talk about rape, but, well, we're the kids on the block. We have to talk about this stuff because it's important. So, we're going to start with the lady, and hopefully we can get a clear consensus on the thought from her.
Alright, so my view is, in the past years, or in history, people have documented a lot of rape cases against women who always have it hard for them.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm here to be open enough to also try and understand if men have a high percentage of also being raped. Innocent, say something.
It's not about having a high percentage of being raped, but it's just the fact that men also get raped, isn't it?
They do, yes they do.
Mm-hmm.
But the percentage.
Do they get raped?
They do.
Mm-hmm.
But then the percentage and stories are not so vast. It's like a once in a while thing. I'm sorry to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a daily thing. On a daily, worldwide, you hear a woman was raped, was killed. Not only are women raped, but they are killed. And then most rape cases, you either find it's gang rape, you find there are a lot of men involved in the gang rape, and also being forcefully raped, like in the institution that we are in, actually. It's hard also for women to come out and disclose that they are being harassed by males.
You are saying it's very hard.
Yes, it's quite hard for most of them, because you know it'll be like something. There's a stereotype really that no, this person was raped. This particular woman was raped because of this and this. Someone is going to try to construct a story just not to believe what happened to the woman. You know what I mean? It's on a daily. For a man, maybe it's just once in. We rarely hear these stories.
How sure are you?
I'm sure. It's a percentage.
Okay, so your explanation is victim blaming.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. And Innocent says it's not really a justification of numbers. So my question is, why do you choose to ignore the fact that men get raped?
Well, it's not really a fact that we choose to ignore that men are raped, but my opinion is that men are stronger than women. I'm sorry, I just have to back this up with all my everything.
Fair enough.
Yes, men are very strong, and most men are quite aggressive when they don't get what they want. It's more like in Africa, we have this sense of when a guy gets for you something, he has to get something in return. So there are not every man, certain men who expect you to buy you things, to pamper you, then you have to give them a share. Then you know some stories in the past, it's like, no, I was spending on this woman, then no, finally I had enough, I was starved. Then he forced himself on her.
Okay,
so,
you were starved.
Fair enough. You explain the background on how rape happens in most instances. You know, what's your take on what she's saying?
For you to say what you said, I don't think that's justifiable. Do you know why there are a lot of cases of women rape than men rape? Because you and I are married. We go to the police station and say, my wife raped me. Are they going to believe it at the station?
No,
Why?
because you're married.
No. Don't say what.
You're married.
Do you know that?
You're married,
Yes,
yes.
you are married. Yeah. But do you know that if we go to the police station and you say my husband raped me, they'll take you more serious.
Well,
We are married.
yeah, but listen, in past years,
Not
it's
in past years.
listen. In past years, women were not allowed because there's a cultural standard. As you get married, you have to go through all these teachings. What? There's a saying for women where it's like, no, your husband is your husband. He's allowed to touch you, even forcefully. And then women had that ground that they can't say anything. It's now that they are allowed to come out and go to the police station and say, no, my husband is raping me. But in the past, this is why women are always the ones with the wrong end of the stick.
Okay, that
It's
was in
now
the
that
past.
it's happening.
But even now, if you and I were to go to the station and say my wife raped me, they won't take me serious.
Well, the world is changing and they are listening. But I don't know.
But you excluding the fact that you don't know isn't a fair answer.
Well,
'Cause
women are always violated.
Listen, can I just say one thing? I could say this, and you know for a fact, women like men who are advanced, right? Why don't women clearly state when they're in the mood? An answer is most people will say they don't like to look a certain type of way.
Exactly.
How is that fair? Because then now you're putting the burden on men.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm not done. You had your chance to speak. I'm not done. You're putting the burden on men to understand your feeling.
Yeah.
And when you say no, it's hard to know if no is a no or no is a yes or yes is a no. Because clearly that's what women want. And when men ask for women to communicate their standards, emotions, and feelings, we're seen as people who don't understand. And when we ask that, we're told, and you know for a fact, men are called mansplainers. How is that fair? It's not. Right? Men are held to such an unbelievable double standard that even when we talk about it, it doesn't look like it's fair because women want it that way. Most women would defend their defenselessness and still blame men for that. You know for a fact that's true. There are some women who would rather not know how to fix a car so that a man can help them than ever learn or actually have a man tell them, like, look, let me teach you how to do this so you don't ever have to need me. And then there are women who go the extreme route of blaming men for that. Right? Basically, it's the issue of you love your man and you ask him what looks different about you on an average day and you expect him to know you've changed your makeup. Do you really think your husband knows the difference between your makeup and your lipstick? But why would you want...
Men are not fair.
No. Why would you expect me to do the same thing with the car's engine? I changed one single valve and I tell you, hey babe, come over, see what I've done with the car.
Are you going
Do you
to know
see the difference?
No.
So why do that to us? We're bringing the conversation to the table.
This is different. A car's parts and a woman's makeup and lipstick are two different things.
But that's the point.
Because you see her every day.
That's the
things
point.
that you see her every day.
Don't you see the car there every day?
No, but you guys know more about the car.
But you
know
know
more
about
the
makeup.
No.
Don't you know more about makeup than I do?
Of course.
You see?
So?
No. But if this person is your wife, at least you get to say, oh, babe,
But
what
if that's
This person is
your
your
car-
husband.
No, if
why
that-
wouldn't you take an interest in cars?
What's the car that you drive every day?
Some women are interested in cars.
Some women.
Exactly.
And some men are interested in makeup.
Exactly.
But we aren't
but
some men.
But it's the simplest things that a man should see because he looks at her
But
every
it's also
day.
the simplest
It's a
things that
difference.
women see.
There's a difference. A car is it's a I don't even know what to say right now. But a person wears the makeup.
A person
puts
drives a
lipstick,
car.
you can notice if your wife has changed from red lipstick to pink lipstick.
But you can notice when your husband changes the tints on the windows of the vehicle.
Yes, you can.
But see,
if it's noticeable.
See? Same
If
thing.
it's noticeable, no.
Same
no,
thing.
No,
but
no.
look, it's not like I'm trying to attack you on that basis. It's that we as human beings choose the most superficial things to validate. And that's not fair, because over the last few centuries, that's how most arguments have been made. We both take philosophy, right? We learned the value of a solid argument. If premises that precede the conclusion are correct, the conclusion too will be correct, right? So why is it that in the modern day and age, we choose to follow false premises to come to a solid conclusion? It doesn't work, because that's not true. Rape is an issue for both sexes. It shouldn't be defended by one sex or owned by one sex. It's an issue that needs to be solved by both sexes.
Exactly, that's what's happening.
Did you know?
The world today, it kind of is, no, like the world is opening up.
The world is opening up, especially with the Me Too movement, and will further proceeds in information. But what we need right now is both sexes to join and communicate with each other.
And that's what we're trying to do.
And please note, when I say sexes, I'm talking about both men and women.
Exactly.
And of course, there are people that are going to say there are more sexes than just men and women. Valid point. We need them to help. But still, the conversation is always going to come back to both men and women having to sit down at the table to talk.
And we can.
Innocent?
But everyone's opinion will be different, guys. So
that's human nature. We need, as human beings, we need different thoughts and opinions to move forward. If not, we stay in the same place.
And men need to be taken serious. The fact that you women think no, just because a man is stronger, meaning that person doesn't have feelings. You get?
Yeah.
So this thing of saying no, women are the ones that get raped and men don't, that's a scam. You even know that. You even know that.
Well.
What do you mean by well?
I mean, it's time for people to join us, both genders, yeah.
That's where you're going to end that statement?
Yeah. I just feel like everyone has their own opinion, and as a psychologist, as a panda psychologist, Vanita, I'm open to everyone's opinion, and I'm ready to stomach it in and take whatever comes my way, and I'm also ready to fight for what I believe in, and also
what you believe
be
is
open.
That women get raped,
and be open as well to any new possibility of what, because every life matters, right? Yeah.
True. But regardless of belief, we all know we have to come down at the table to actually talk about the things that happen. That includes the way we perceive the world and the way we think about things and topics. It is not fair to leave a question open-ended in hopes of trying to solve a problem. It doesn't work. All I'm saying is women are right, but excluding the fact that rape is something that both happens to men and women and people in between sexes wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't solve anything. We need a clear, open, honest channel of communication between the sexes and people in general, because there are too many kids out there suffering because of our own hubris. And that's where I, as down at 14, would love to end this topic, but I know there's still more that needs to be said. And hopefully people back home can help us, because we don't know everything.
True.
So, until next time.
Peace out.
It was Panda, the psychologist, guys.
Later, guys.
And you can also follow my YouTube channel, Juanita's Diary, talking about everything real in my life, and also around me, guys. Thanks for having me.
This was Before the Crowd.